Hi, Tim Barry, Holistic Web Presence here. This is an introduction to our Houzz training course, and let me talk you through exactly what the structure of it is. Module number two, this is module one. Module number two provides the actual Houzz training from Houzz. So all we've done is we've copied their primary training module from one of their recent webinars and put that in there for you. Now they actually position that as advanced training, believe it or not. From our point of view, it's just the basics. You need to get the basics understood as to what Houzz is, how it's used, and the basic ways of how to leverage it before we start getting into our training. So the whole purpose of having that in there is just to kind of level set so that you have a core basic understanding of what Houzz is all about. It's quite long and there's quite a lot to it, but I would recommend that you carefully go through it and make sure that you've understood everything within that first training module. From there starts our training. And what we've done is to break it down into short modules. Each short module, some of them, they vary, anything from about 3 minutes to 15 minutes. Each one of them focuses on one specific aspect of how to leverage Houzz and how to get more business from Houzz. And we gear our training very specifically to that goal. Our goal is to help you get more clients, more sales, more people visiting your website. One thing to understand about all of these sorts of things, Houzz included, is what you're doing is you're optimizing. In other words, you're trying to figure out how to get the most you possibly can out of using Houzz as a way to increase your visibility, or web presence as we call it. When you think about optimizing, it's really a point system, and think of it as a point system. Your goal is to get as many points as you can. Each point increases your visibility. Now, some people tend to approach this and think, oh, I don't really need to do that, or I don't really need to do this, and they don't nearly get as much traction as if you try and optimize everything and get the maximum number of points. That's because the points have a kind of cumulative effect. And that's one of the reasons why we call it holistic web presence, in that if you get everything right, all the different things that you can possibly get right, they're all interconnected. Holistic means the interconnectedness of things. So as you go through this Houzz training, think of this in terms of, if you're going to do it, you want to try and get absolutely as much right and set up and perfect as you possibly can. The cumulative effect of getting as many points as you can and getting as much right as you can is much greater than you think it is. You can get a lot of visibility if you just tee up all of these things. And when we provide Houzz services, that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to reach perfection. Perfection is, obviously non-existent. It's infinite. You're never going to get there. But getting as close to it as possible all the time is really what optimizing is all about. It's not about, oh, I'll do that bit, but I can't be bothered to do this bit. If you're going to approach it that way, you're going to get a half-hearted result out of it. So if you're going to do this training, you really want to work through each individual component and try and get every one of them exactly right. The other thing I would say is, as we create these training courses and we watch to see who goes through them and who gets results out of them and who doesn't get results out of them, this and other related training, we notice a trend, and there is a proportion of the people that do this training, and they tend to just not get the results. And we've looked very carefully about, well, why did they not get the result, and why did somebody else get a good result from it? What's the difference between the way in which they've gone about doing the training and implementing the training? And this is true not just for the Houzz training, this training module, but this is true for most training modules that we provide. Here's the thing. When some people do this training course, what they do is they sit down and they play the training modules and they just go through it. And they pay attention to the individual points that are made to varying degrees. But they just start at the beginning and they just go through each one and they listen to them all. Then when they've gone through all of that training, at some point they get around to trying to implement all those things. That is exactly the formula for failure. That's if you want to go through the training and completely waste your time, go through them all and then think about implementing it at some point. It just doesn't work. What we see is the people that get results out of this training are the people that play the training video and get to a point where there's something to do or something for them to explore and think about. So they play the training video in one window, and then they open Houzz in the other window, and they explore and they see the example. If we say, oh, we'll go here and look here and click on this link, they go and they actually do it in real time with the video. And if there's a suggestion, well, what you want to do is you want to go about uploading an image this way and you want to call it this, and whatever the action is, if they actually go and do it in time with the video and implement what's suggested, they get great results out of it. They remember it, they understand it, because they've implemented it as they go. So I would say this training course, don't think of it as a training course, think of it as a list of things to do that you're going to work through and implement as you go. I promise you, if you just go through and do this training course, by the time you get to the end, you're going to have forgotten what's in the beginning of it. You're going to go into Houzz and you're going to do half of what is suggested in there, and you just won't get the same results out of it. So if you can, it's better to do one of the modules and do it really well and do it in real time and actually implement what's in it than try and go through all of the modules. Okay, what else? Test and learn. When you do this, what you're doing is you're adding content with the goal of making it more visible. In the training, we'll show you, as part of this training, it's all based on a real case example of work that we're doing. So we'll show you real examples and we'll show you real results examples and how to figure out whether you're getting the result or not. What you want to be doing is doing the work on Houzz and then going back a week or two later and seeing what result you're getting from it. And that's going to give you a kind of feedback mechanism, so you're going to see what's working. Because if there's one thing that's true for the internet, is it changes rapidly. From the point at which we started this training to the point where I think we're on about module 18 right now, that's a period of several weeks. We've actually found that Houzz has actually changed in that time. So it changes really quick. So you've got to be constantly testing to see what works. We're going to give you some great suggestions on how to do that. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be going in and doing your own testing as a result of that. So good luck. I hope you enjoyed the course. There's a lot of detail in here. It's definitely a masterclass course. It's an advanced course. As we get new learnings and as we do this work, we're going to be adding new content to this courseware on a continuous basis. So good luck.